Hello and welcome. So we had some big news over the weekend. If you're not aware, D23 just happened, and alongside many other people, I am joining in this discussion today.
Yeah. You know, Josh, whatever you do, I'm sure it'll be great.
If you've been following me on this channel, you should be well aware that I am very critical about the parks. I'm very critical about the company because I care about it so much. If you couldn't tell by my enormous display of products and merchandise from them. And it is important to be critical because you want to have the best product and the most quality product out there, like they used to deliver. And unfortunately, every single year, they continue to keep on being misguided and upsetting many people. Obviously, I am one of them. And it's so unfortunate to be a Disney fan right now. It's so disappointing to be a Disney fan right now because there's so much potential that they are completely killing. And I don't know why. I have made several videos already about what I would change about the parks. I'll link those below if you want to watch them. And I've also made several videos about just the status of the parks and how I feel about them. So we're gonna add this soapbox video to that discussion, but it's very important because they are making changes that a lot of people are not happy with. Because this happened in Orlando, these are not major announcements. They only announced a couple things during the live stream that they had, and they ended up giving us a lot of refreshment announcements. So a lot of announcements that already were announced at the previous D23 Expo, a lot of that time within that panel and within that live stream was in regards to updates. So the Half-Block Ghost and the timelines of these projects appearing that we already knew about. And it was so weird because they had a lot of red herrings within this panel. They decided to come out with Hercules and do 2 numbers from Hercules, which put my expectations up so high, which of course was my mistake because I had no expectations of what was going on, and yet was still disappointed. And I want them to use Hercules. I really, really love Hercules. I've been very open about it here. It is one of my favorite films. It literally helped shape my identity. I identify with Meg through and through, and I want to see that be utilized. I want to see them use their properties that are underutilized. So Hercules, Tarzan, Hunchback, Atlantis, a lot of the movies that came out within the late 90s, early 2000s that kind of fell under the radar. And they are getting cult status now, but you have so many characters that are classic characters, that are cult characters, and you're not using them. They are focusing on only the characters that are within the mainstream that have only come out in the last couple of years. They opened up with Hercules and did nothing with it. They also focused on the Muppets a lot. They had a lot of Muppets come out, which was nice to see, and did nothing with it. People want the Muppets. People are happy about the Muppets. I love the Muppets. And yet they're not being used outside of the Muppets Courtyard and Muppets 3D. And it was supposed to have such a bigger presence, and it doesn't.
I must go and prepare for my big musical number. Ta-ta!
What's the big musical number here?
I don't think there is one.
So what did we get instead? We got an update for A Bug's Life, that it's tough to be a bug is going away, and instead it's being replaced with Zootopia.
For example, last year you talked about the possibility of bringing Zootopia to the park. Now we're still excited about that idea, only now we're exploring a new location to bring this story to life. And with that, I'm happy to share here, for the first time, we're creating a new show for the Tree of Life based on Zootopia.
Fair. I understand that within Animal Kingdom, bugs are a crucial part of Animal Kingdom. They are animals after all. I am a Zootopia stan, so therefore I'm not mad about it. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it will be really cute. I don't know what they're gonna do with it besides it being a show in the Tree of Life. It seems a little bit misplaced, but I'm happy for Zootopia to come to the parks. China, they showed what China's getting.
When guests step foot into Zootopia, they'll feel completely immersed as the city comes to life all around them. From lemmings heading to work on the Zootopia Transit Authority to Gazelle's backup dancers celebrating Zootopia Day, we're using our best technical know-how to create one of the most innovative and alive experiences that we've ever created.
We even infuse the world with inspiration from urban Shanghai to immerse guests in a world that's authentically Disney, distinctly Chinese.
China's getting it, and it looks phenomenal. I want it here. But no, we're just getting one show. Within Animal Kingdom, there is more upsetting news. And it should be interesting to see how it progresses, because right now it's literally just talk. It's literally just an idea that they haven't fully committed to yet. So I'm hoping that, you know, there'll be some wiggle room. They will change things and they'll be able to have a compromise. The rumor is, and what they said they're considering, is taking down Dinosaur and taking down Dinoland USA.
We're looking at reimagining Dinoland into something completely new. We're focusing on a region of the world sometimes referred to as the tropical Americas.
It's been talked about for a while that it was going to go away. I mean, I understand it's outdated. They haven't done anything with it. It is a land that has been around for 20 years since the park opened, and it's something that could use change, and I understand that. However, they want to change it to South America, which I do like, because we need original work. And again, we'll continue to delve deeper with that within a few moments. But of course, the reason they're picking South America is so they can throw Encanto in.
Any specific stories
come on,
that
Josh.
you have maybe in,
you know we can't.
in mind?
We can't. Uh-oh.
We don't talk about real love.
Encanto's a cute film. I like Encanto, but it's brand new. And it's so modern that they're literally just trying to appeal to kids. Which I understand that's what Disney is about. I get it. You want to appeal to everyone, but mostly kids. But there's a whole market that they're missing. And by going into South America and bringing Encanto in, they want to knock out Dinosaur and Dinoland USA. And instead put Indiana Jones into it. Which, interesting idea. However, they should keep it in California. It is a unique experience to California that people love. We have dinosaurs. It makes sense. Dinosaurs are animals. Dinosaurs are part of history within the animal kingdom. And I mean animal kingdom as in like actual kingdom of animals, not the theme park. I hate seeing them taking away stuff to replace things. And this is the common theme that I have with everything that they're doing. I am so tired of them taking away instead of adding. And we'll continue to talk about this a lot more as I continue to talk about the upcoming projects that are coming up. There is so much land with these parks. The entire reason they picked Orlando, Florida and Lake Buena Vista was so they would have the expansion to grow. But they're not doing that. They're literally just replacing these attractions and not adding. And I know I'm not the only one with this argument. I know I'm not the only one with this concern. I've seen many people talk about it in other videos. And it's true. They have so much space and they're not using it properly. They're misguiding, they're mishandling it, and it's so disappointing. I love Dinosaur, and I understand if they want to enhance it. I understand if they want to change things. And of course, you know, getting rid of Dinoland USA. In fact, I purposely took pictures to have as a memory, because I don't know if I'll be able to make it back to Disney before they decide to dismember everything. So I have pictures to remember it by. reason that I fell in love with these parks is because they were unique. They were amazing, unique experiences that you could go to that you couldn't find anywhere else. You have Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom's great for all the IP. You have all your characters that you know and love from all the films and shows and anything that you know with Disney, the princesses, the villains. That's all within the Magic Kingdom. That is what it's known for. Wonderful. Put everything there. Epcot. Epcot is the park that is known for discovery, imagination, and science and world culture. It is literally just an exploration of the world, an exploration of discovery of what you can enjoy with cultures, both in Future World, which is now World Celebration, World Discovery, World Nature, and then World Showcase. And I love that. I love Epcot. It's literally my favorite park. It's literally one of my favorite places in the world because you're literally going to discover and have a great time and learn. It is basically a living science center. That's what it started at, as a living science center. And that identity is falling apart. And with the Journey of Water with Moana just opening up, I have clearly not been there yet because it just opened up and I've just seen videos and pictures of it. But it looks like an Animal Kingdom scenario. It's gorgeous. It looks really pretty, but it doesn't look like it belongs in the place where it is. And I think that's what's happening, and that's what people are so upset about with Disney, is that they have these great ideas and they're putting them in places where they don't belong and they don't fit. What Epcot needs is more countries. Then you could put Encanto in there, because if you literally build Colombia, there you go. I understand with Epcot, you can add the characters within the worlds that they are in. Perfect. The whole idea of Epcot is for you to learn. It is a living science center and a living world culture, world expo center. And it needs so much more. And I don't know what direction they're going in. However, I am happy they're changing Test Track again. Test Track, the way it is fun. And I like the whole futuristic vibe, but it's very Tron-like. And so the fact that they've announced that it's gonna go back to a World of Motion hybrid, yay, I'm here for it. I appreciate it. And that is exactly what we need. We need more independent, original ideas. Keep that in mind. That Key World is gonna be coming back on this lecture. That is the one idea that I'm really happy about. And I'm hoping is promising. I'm also hoping that next year they will have a lot more promising ideas coming to Epcot, instead of just, hey, the Figment meet and greet that we promised you last year is finally open now.
You guys may know that we're working on our next nighttime spectacular at Epcot. You heard about that? All right, well, here's some news. The show is going to debut on December 5th of this year.
I completely forgot to even mention the new fireworks show that's coming. And it's coming so soon that I'm honestly concerned at how quickly they're going to rush it and how similar it's going to be to Harmonious.
Filled with fireworks, fountains, lasers, lighting effects, fabulous Disney music.
Nothing was announced for Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, just kidding. They talked about new updates to Star Tours. Nothing major.
Which again, you think they would have with the amount of Muppets that were featured within that presentation. But you know, for now, that's okay. Hollywood Studios is literally just Star Wars Land and Mickey and Minnie. And then in the corner, Sunset Boulevard, where all the vintage love is still there. Please do more with that. But yeah, I've already talked about ideas of Hollywood Studios, so I'll leave that, like I said, in the link below. Every park has a specific identity that it was born with, and that is the reason that I want things to stick around. It is important to change, it's important to upgrade, it's important to, you know, mix things up, but it has to stick within the brand. That is what is not happening, because you're putting rides and ideas that don't match up. And then we have other things that are a huge problem, like in Magic Kingdom. And this is something that I'm so upset about. And I'm so sad. Okay, so they are changing the Country Bear Jamboree. And we only got an idea that they are going to be replacing or adding some of the songs to upgrade it to them singing Disney songs in a country flair.
They're going to be learning some new songs and performing a whole new act.
I was afraid that they were wanting to change it for the fact that it's not PC, and I love that show so much because of that, because it is literally a time capsule of what life was like back in the 60s and the 70s when it was created. It is a time capsule of Americana, and it is literally a piece of important Disney history. It is so unique. It is something that you cannot find anywhere else. I know they had it in Japan, but otherwise it is literally so unique and special and a very, very important detail of the park. People want original ideas. People want original concepts. The Disney parks had that for a long time, and now they are changing everything to be all intellectual property, and it's easy outs. I am sad that I never got to experience Disney in its full peak within the Iser era, because he really brought a lot to the parks. And a lot of it was also corporate. A lot of the characters were incorporated, because I know that's when we got Star Tours. I know that's when we got weird Hollywood studio stuff. I mean, the fact that Goosebumps came to the park and then Barbie was in Epcot, and a lot of mishmash stuff there. So as I'm talking, you know, it's not perfect, but at least they were open to experimenting. We got Alien Encounter. Like, that is one of the strangest rides and attractions that Disney has ever done. And more importantly, the Millennium Celebration, which is literally my favorite time that Disney has been. The Millennium Celebration. That is the pinpoint of one of the reasons I love Disney so much. It was one of my first times going to Disney. Yeah, that was actually my first time going to Disney, was in 2000. And I fell in love with Epcot. I fell in love with the parade. I still constantly listen to the music of Tapestry of Nations. I love that era, and I would love to go back and experience that as an adult. The whole reason I'm bringing this up is just to pinpoint of how unique it was, and that these experiences were so special. And they're not the same anymore. And it's not only because we're getting older. It's different. It's lazy. It's just recycling material, and they're doing it with everything, not only with the parks, but all the movies and all the series. Everything is a reboot, and we're stuck in this uncreative spiral here because no one wants to experiment anymore, and it's so upsetting. That is a bigger discussion, but it all trickles down to being worried about what they're going to do with the parks. A lot of people have talked about Epic Universe. I am looking so forward to Epic Universe. It sounds phenomenal. It sounds like it's filled with a lot of amazing, unique, original ideas. And yes, they're taking characters that are beloved. We're getting Super Nintendo World. We're getting a whole Universal Monsters land. People have been wanting Disney villains as a land forever. It would be so simple to add that to Magic Kingdom. They could literally build on an expansion and add a villains land and have a couple of rides dedicated to the villains, and people would be so happy. Like, the fact that I can come up with different ideas just thinking out loud that I feel are a lot better than what they're actually giving us is so sad. And yes, I'm sure that they are in discussions and having a lot of panels about how they're going to continue on, what they're going to build. But the fact that these are the final projects that they are giving us and changing and thinking, hey, we talked to so many people, this is the route we're going with, is so sad. It's so disappointing. It is not a good time to be a Disney fan, but yet here we are, still trucking along. It's just sad because you see what's happening within the other parks, and you're seeing what's happening within the parks all across the globe, in China and Japan. I understand they have a different budget. I understand they're owned by different companies, but you see what they're doing over there, and it looks amazing. It looks phenomenal, and we're only getting recycled scraps, and that's why it's so sad. because there's so much potential that's not being used. There is a time and place for the characters. Obviously, the characters from all these films are so important. Everyone knows and loves them. That is why we have the meet and greets. That is why we have all the merchandise, which ironically was going to be another discussion that I want to talk about, the state of merchandise, and will later on. So expect a video for that. We have evidence of how great the parks were in the past. I am a huge Disney history person. I mean, half of my videos are literally reviewing and rewatching old Disney media because it's comfortable, it's nostalgic, it's cozy. And I still love the parks. I still love the Disney brand, but it's just so saddening that every time there are new announcements, instead of being excited about them, I am filled with nervousness because I don't know what they're going to ruin next. There is going to be a D23 Expo again in California next year, where we know we're going to get a lot more major announcements of what the future of the parks are going to look like. And it's going to be interesting because it's 1 year away from Epic Universe. And we all know that Epic Universe is going to be major competition to Disney, and Universal is major competition to Disney. I've probably talked way too long by now. I appreciate you listening to my TED Talk, and I really hope that they are able to have better ideas. Please hire me, Disney. I could get you on board. I'm critical because I love the park so much and I love the brand so much, and I do not want to be brainwashed into thinking everything is dandy when it's not. You have so much potential that you're not using properly, and it's so sad. We'll see what happens in the future. Let me know what you think of all these too. What do you think of all these announcements of the changes of It's Tough to Be a Bug and Zootopia and Test Track, Country Bear Jamboree, Animal Kingdom changes with South America and Encanto and Indiana Jones. As always, I hope you guys have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.